Hello again. This is Donna Gobrish for the Emily Trapp's Gold Award Project and the Healthy Empowerment with Women Fair. And this is video 2. So I'm not sure how many of these I'll get out there to get all the information I want to give you. But this is the part where you probably want to have something to write on or write down some of the things we're going to talk about. In my area of expertise is in mental health, as I'm a mental health counselor. So, self-care, big buzzword these days. You hear all about self-care. We need to do self-care. We all do really need to do self-care. That's not a joke. Might be, okay, the fancy term of the day, but there really is something to it, especially with COVID, pandemic, all this going on. For most, if you Google or research self-care, most things are going to kind of come under 3 or 4, subcategories. And the ones that I go by, I would say look at your physical health, your emotional health, your psychological health, and your spiritual health. Physical, think of it like we got to live, move, and breathe. Jot that down if you want. Physical, live, move, and breathe. Emotional, that's where we need to love and care and be in relationships. And then psychological health, that's where we need to learn and think and grow. And then spiritual, basically having some connection or looking for meaning in our world or in our lives. Some people turn to nature, some people turn to religion. Just, having something to allow yourself to explore. And that's kind of like more of an inner resource, which we may or may not get to talk more about. Okay, so those are the cores of self-care. One big area, since most of us listening are women to this, it's okay. Hello, men, if you're listening and watching for someone you love or alongside of somebody. But we're going to talk a little bit about the hormones. From pre-puberty through post-menopause, we have all these big hormone changes and adjustments to deal with. Just no way around that. But noticing that, especially if you might have depression or anxiety or have some other mood issues, it can certainly get worse during those times, of the month or time frames that in your life, like pre-puberty, like 7, 8, 9 years old. If you remember going through this, or you have daughters or granddaughters, you could probably almost remember the day when you thought their head was going to spin around, because all of a sudden they are super emotional and it's over nothing, and that's usually just the start. But once puberty actually kicks in, the physical symptoms, for most girls, it kind of levels out a little bit. And certainly pregnancy, all kinds of hormone stuff going on there. And postpartum depression is real. Baby blues, that's where a little bit of moodiness that first week or two, you and baby might be home. But postpartum depression is when those hormones are shifting after pregnancy. And it can be anywhere from a few weeks up to, when your baby is about a year old. Like if any of the mood symptoms that we've talked about, if you're just not feeling yourself or other people are concerned about you, talk to your doctor about it, because sometimes we can't see it. Like sometimes people that are close with us, they can see it first before we can see how bad things are. Another huge time for many women is good old menopause and all the hormonal shifts that brings, because that's the time in our lives when the estrogen is starting to decrease and all that good fun stuff. So again, women's talk could be a whole thing on just all of our hormones. Sometimes people do need, therapy, medication, and other treatments to deal with the hormones and their moods and other medical conditions that can relate to our moods. So I'd love to tell you more, but I gotta move on to get to, here's the write some stuff down. Hopefully I'm not gonna try to talk too fast, but we're trying to keep this not a marathon of you listening to me for hours or anything. Ways to take care of your mental health. I'm going to give you a bunch of things, and if you just jot them down, then this gives you a template. It gives you a list of, if you are feeling bad or down, you might think to do one of these things, or take something off the list and, okay, I'm going to try to get that and make that more in my life. Because when we are feeling down or bad or crappy, we're not going to think, okay, what's something I could do to take care of myself right now? We need that, but nobody usually thinks of it. So you want to have this stuff handy for when you aren't feeling so good. All right, talking about your feelings. That's number one. It can help you cope. It can help you get through bad times. It can help you get through just laughing about, the troubles and trials that we go through in life and marriages and parenthood and all this good stuff. All right, number two, keep moving some of the time. I already told you, regular exercise. It's been proven to help us and help our mood and our brain. So even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, and whatever you do, please set a realistic goal. Anybody can do some crazy routine for 2-3 weeks, but then after that we fall off. So please make it realistic. Number three, eat well some of the time. Already talked about why that's important. Number four, drink sensibly. Now, of course, we should drink lots of water and avoid all the things that are not very good for us, but our moods are affected by alcohol and other things that we do put in our system. So I just wanted to mention that. Now, to drink once in a blue moon for a special occasion, not so much a big deal. But if you've had problems with jobs, your family, the legal system, or somebody else thinks you have a problem with your drinking, you might have a problem with your drinking, and it would be worth getting that checked out. Because alcohol is a depressant, and if you already don't feel good or feel down or depressed, then you're making it worse. And if you're drinking for loneliness or drinking because, I can't even talk in a social group without having a drink, that might be something to talk about. Okay, so drink sensibly. Number 5, stay connected. Stay in communication, friends, family, neighbors, in person when you can, when it can be safe. Also phone, text, social media, and let's see what else. Asking for help. None of us are superhuman. Many of us women, we try to be superhuman, but we are not. So ask for help. We all get overwhelmed and tired. And sometimes, you might be helping somebody you love by asking for help, because then it gets them out of their own stuff or their own head for the moment. All right. And definitely look into any local services. Just Google local crisis line support, any of that. I did, before doing the talk, there's a crisis text line. If you dial or put in your phone under text messages 741-741, and in the message part put start, you're going to get a message from the text crisis line that could help you if you needed to talk. All right. Number 7, if you're numbering things, take a break. Change of scenery, change of pace. Just take a break for a couple minutes or half an hour from things that you're doing or need to do. It may help you regenerate and rejuvenate so you can finish whatever it was you were doing. Number 8, do something you're good at. That's certainly something we need as women. What's something you used to love doing? that you could maybe do again because it's something you had confidence in and it'd be worth trying again. All right, number 9, accept who you are. Starting where you're at versus where you wish you would be or what you wish you would have done all these other years. Start and accept who you are and where you're at in your health, in your mental health, in your family, in your career, wherever you're at. Start where you are. And number 10, caring for others. Just like I said about the connections and all that, it can help us feel better and it can help them feel better to help us. The other thing, there's been plenty of studies that just smiling, which is a little harder with the mask, but still smile or say hi, to somebody when you're out, being safe with physical distancing and all. And I'm going to stop there. Those are the first 10 things, and this is the end of the second video, and we'll continue in the third.